Hello everyone, 皆さんこんにちは。大志です。Welcome to my YouTube video series, Let's Read News in Japanese. So let's get started with the news for today, September 5th, Saturday. So here's the Nikkei Shimbun page 1, but on the Saturday version, usually at the top is kind of column or commentary, and below was some latest news articles. So as always, I'm going to read each article, and after that, I'm going to give you a quick Japanese lesson using one of the sentences in the article. Okay, so let's get started. So here's a kind of commentary column. The headline says, 電光石火の菅氏優勢、自民総裁選本命交代の舞台裏. So it is about the current hot news that the Democratic Party's leadership election. So, now, as you may know, Mr. Suga, the current chief cabinet secretary, is the most viable candidate among all the candidates. So other candidates are Kishida and Mr. Ishiba. So this article is talking about how he suddenly comes on top after being almost uh, you know even though he wasn't even considered a viable candidate before, because he's independent politicians, independent in that he doesn't belong to any political faction inside the party. Of course, he belongs to the party, the Liberal Democratic Party, but he's not a member of any faction in the party. So what are political factions? Here the list of political factions: Hosoda faction, Aso faction, Takeshita faction, this kind of factions. So usually the member some political faction endorses the member very viable member of the faction as the candidate of the leader, right? That is as you might naturally think. But so independent, it is very rare that independent politicians can be have such influence, such support from all over the party. So how did it happen? So the article says because these major factions did not really have any viable, any potential candidate, so they're not sure who to pick. So they thought maybe they don't want to really pick, endorse or support any member from other political factions, right? So they rather pick someone independent, if they have to, because their own faction doesn't have a candidate, so if they have to pick one, support one, they maybe pick independent rather than one from enemy level factions, right? So that's what happened. The article argues that, but yeah, so it is what is happening right now. And looking at this picture, this shows who's supporting who. These five major factions are all supporting Mr. Suga, who's an independent, again, who is an independent politician. And obviously, Kishida faction is endorsing Kishida. Ishiba faction is endorsing Ishiba. So looking at this, so looking at this shows Mr. Suga is way ahead of the other two candidates, right? So yeah, it is what's happening, but it doesn't really make sense to me because even though the factions do not have viable candidate, they might say they still have have money, power, influence over the party, like especially these these biggest parties inside factions inside the party. They should you know make something happen at least. So it doesn't really make sense. So these factions kind of gave up on the opportunities so early. It's so early. They were so quick to kind of come together and support this independent politicians. So it looks so weird to me. So what could be the reason? So here's the theory. Here's my theory. Maybe no single faction doesn't no faction doesn't want the prime ministership. the current next prime ministership. You know, if you think about it, like becoming the prime minister at this moment, it could be a suicidal move, like suicidal move. I mean, obviously the coronavirus pandemic is still remaining, still to be contained, and there's economic war going on between two biggest economic powers, namely America and China, and North Korea is gonna flexing muscles ever more explicitly. So there's a risk everywhere, right? So it's kind of natural, like no one really wants to be a prime minister at this moment. So you just think that way kind of makes sense. But like these functions don't really have a very capable member anyway. So yeah, it's better to kind of show the responsibility to some independent member. Yeah, if you think about it, that makes sense. Because like if anyone someone becomes a prime minister at this moment, the chances are like some grave issues, international grave issues or maybe domestic issues come up, and he cannot really handle them very well, and eventually he's forced to resign. This scenario is kind of likely looking at the situation right now. So if you think this way, this move kind of makes sense. But otherwise, it's hard to like imagine um, what is exactly going on. Yeah, you might think this conspiracy theories, but like at least this makes more sense, like, doesn't it? Anyway, so I'm not going to talk too much about theories anyway. So we'll see what's gonna happen. Okay, next one. 米農業保険を買収、損保気候変動対応。So this is news about Sompo Holdings, Japanese insurance company, buying American agriculture insurance company, a major agriculture insurance company. So it says they are preparing for the increasing risk regarding the climate change. So that now climate change is getting ever more expressed, ever more severe. So that risk is getting bigger, right? So uh, and agricultural products, they are very susceptible to such climate changes too. Oh no, what? Okay, so sorry. Anyway, so they're basically this move is kind of in preparation for that risk. So this makes sense, yeah. Not only climate change, but there's kind of outbreak of harmful insects like locusts, right? So they're also harming agricultural crops. So this is getting higher. So this makes sense. Anyway, moving on. 枝野泉氏代表選に出馬、立民国民合流新党149人が参加。So this is another political topic. So there's another move going on, which is a new party is going to be formed. New opposition party is going to be formed. So now Rikken Minshito and Kokumin Minshito, I don't know the English names, they're going to kind of merge. And they and some other parties are going to merge into a big new party, and then they're going to elect a new representative of that party. So and for that election, Edano from Nikkei Minshito and Izumi from Kokumin Minshito are going to run. So like what are they? Why are they doing this right now? So this kind actually just this rumor. This time it's a rumor. It's not theory. Rumor that snap election is coming up. After the new prime minister is elected, he is going to do a snap election. So this is just rumor. So I think the rumor is kind of corroborated by this move from the opposition party, because like they're obviously kind of trying to make it, the new party make it in terms in making a new party before the snap election is announced. So yeah, the new party is going to be a very big part, opposition party, and who knows, they might win. They might be the ruling party or the Liberal Democratic Party. Yeah. So I'm not really a fan of politics or anything, but like right now the political things are kind of interesting. So yeah, just keep an eye on this. So finally, this one. マイナス利回り社債三井住友銀が国内初。So 三井住友 Bank is announced it's going to issue negative interest rate corporate bonds. Negative interest corporate bonds. Who's going to buy it? My thing, but actually the thing is that they're going to issue the bond that is denominated by euro rather than yen. So so euro is a key because like the European Central Bank or ECB is now using the negative interest rate, right? So people, so the Mrs. Central Bank is going to set the interest rate slightly higher than that, ECB interest rate. I mean, it is still negative, but still slightly higher. So because of that, people, rather than depositing their money in the ECB, they might buy the corporate issues instead because like they're gonna lose money over time anyway. But in that way, at least it's better than keeping the money in the ECB. So yeah, it's very clever move, isn't it? I think it's very smart. So it's the first company to do that. But I'm curious why no one else didn't no one else tried to do this because it's so smart. Obviously, in terms of the credit trustworthiness, ECB is way higher than Central Bank, but yeah, this very smart move anyway. So I'm curious how it's gonna turn out. Okay, so moving on. So let's do some Japanese lesson for today. Okay. Wait, is that mic on? Okay, so today I'm going to talk about this sentence. 電光石火で菅氏優勢の流れが固まった。電光石火で菅氏優勢の流れが固まった。Okay, I'm going to draw a line here. So basically, okay, I'm going to break it down. So first one, 電光石火で This is a 電光石火 is a four-letter word, four kanji 四字熟語 four kanji word, and it means the lightning speed. The denko is a lightning flash, and sekka it refers to when you hit a piece of stone with another piece of stone, there's kind of spark coming out, right? So it refers to that spark. So den-kō-se-kka literally means lightning flash and sparks. So and it kind of means like as fast as lightning. So den-kō-se-kka de means at the lightning speed, and Sugashi Yusei. So Suga is obviously the name of the candidate. She is it acts as like a Mr. or Mrs. Miss in English. So it's like so Sugashi means Mr. Suga, and Yusei it means lead or leading position. So Sugashi Yusei. So you can imagine like between Sugashi and Yusei, there's a ga, the subject marker. Sugashi ga Yusei, which means Mr. Suga is in the lead, right? And the ga is kind of omitted. And here's a kagikakko, right? So this kagikakko kind of acts like double quotations in English, but the usage is kind of sometimes different. Here it implies that this word is a made up word. It's not like some word on the dictionary, but it's a word that this writer came up with. So Sugashi says so. In English, you don't even have to use double quotations here. Maybe you can put it in italic, but I don't know. But you don't need to do anything about this in English. Anyway, no naga-re. Naga-re means flow or trend. So here I think a trend is appropriate. が固まった。固まった is the past tense form of 固まる。固まる means to become solid, to be fixed, to be consolidated. But here I think it's more natural to say it has become more become clear. I think. So let's put them together. Okay. At the lightning speed, in the blink of an eye, the trend of Mr. Suga in the lead has become clear. So this is a translation. So anyway, this is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again soon.